to America. We don't share land here.
Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Pour my beer down the sink. I've got more in the trunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. And I'm going to be drunk till the next time I'm drunk.
Welcome back. Everything moving forward is your own damn fault. What are we looking at today? Well, first of all, if the hearts start rolling in and you're like, what in the hell? It is 7:40 p.m. and God, Hector, what about the baby Jesus? I bet you I know right where he's at right now. Right now the girls' party is going on. I've been bartending and might have had a few. Might still be having a few. We're going to look at Deadhead IPA from Destihl Brewery. This is a West Coast style, not one of my favorites. And it weighs in at 6.9%. Yeah. Okay. Also picked something up today. And I smile moneyed that bitch within 20 minutes of being home. Might even be willing to say it was smile moneyed within 20 minutes of being home. Oh yeah, I like good head. Comes in a box that looks just like that. Plus there's a couple packages. One of them I am not gonna touch. It says something like the retarded Viking. That is obviously not me. Looks like some pepperoni's about to slip there. Smells like an IPA. A little bit more of the hoppiness versus the tropical fruitiness, but either way, cheers. Yeah, it's barely drinkable. Let's move on. Today's weapon of choice is Ed's gun in Pete's holster. Just kidding. Actually, what the hell? My pants get hooked in there? Oh, yeah. I guess I... might have to turn that retention down. It's being... My buddy Tom, who we actually met down at the gun show today, he asked about it, that the holster in my picture looked like it was flat, like it'd be really uncomfortable. But I'm kind of turning it more, and it's obviously massively changing the retention on it. So I gotta set that. Let's put it this way. If I was imploded out of a titanium and Kevlar tube 2.5 miles down, the holster and gun would stay together. And a big my condolences go out to Clyde. Clyde's mother passed away last night. So Clyde, I've already talked to you, but just so that everybody's aware, so sorry, Clyde. First in is Smile Money, saying first. Then Clyde says second. And then Hector says moo. And then Agent Mr. Cat says oink. And then Hector says back, double meow, naked. And then Clyde says whiskey and revolution for all. And Hector says, don't forget the thinly sliced hamster meat on the Ritz crackers, Miles' favorite. And Bad, building a drink, says, I'll take a double on the rocks with a splash of anarchy. Then Scourge, take a schwat of your cheapest bottle or infinity something. Well, why would I want to do that? By the bottle, the cheapest thing here probably, even though it's a big bottle, is probably the Philadelphia. And I've already had enough to drink tonight to not want to put myself in that situation. I tell you though, what I want to do is I gave Flask 144 and 8.5, and the one thing that I had done wrong yesterday is I got home and it was very warm and I was sweaty and I was a little ahead of the time curve, so I did nothing that none of you really want to hear about. I'll just say that the cleanup process was longer, and it included I brushed the shit out of my teeth, and the last thing I had before I came down here was some mouthwash gargle stuff, and I think that changed the dynamics. We'll have a little something with Grandma. Change of the dynamics, and because this 144 is actually Octomore 13-1, which is this. And this is really good. This is 59.2, which I did say it definitely had a little bit more oomph to it. But it didn't taste anything like what I remember that bottle tasting like. And I'm pretty sure that I altered the playing field. See, this just smells completely different right now. I know it's probably mind over matter, but this is the 13-1 though, is still one of the least of the smoky ones. If you were to compare 9.3 and 13.1 side by side, I think the connoisseur of fine, heavily peated scotches is always going to go for the 9.3. See now. 3 of my bottles are clear and 3 of my bottles are black, and you cannot see through them, which I think is distinctly unfair as far as keeping up on what's in there. But I told Sharky in the event September that he was to ever get over here September first week in September that we would definitely have to work our way through the Octomore series. And the one that's in the most jeopardy is 10.3 right now, at least that I can see. There's this much 9.3, because that's like, what, bottle number 3? Then we got 10.3, don't know on 11.1, this much on the 11.3, and now we're unknown on the Scottish barley, which I have told me once that this was supposed to be Octomore blah 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 blah. Okay, so this one says Octomore 06.1. So in the scheme of things, that one should be down there somewhere. Let me guess. It's Hector. Show this to the crowd. Listen, Billy, you're a disgusting sinner, unworthy of my love. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Hector, you were just... No, Hector, I'm sorry. I will not show that to everybody. Look at that, Hector. That's what you're missing. Hector, seriously. You could... There's that. Or some hairy butthole. Okay. Let me just rule out the one we're not going to be opening. We are not going to be opening the package to the retarded Viking. But we are going to open up this package. Oh yeah. The baby Jesus would definitely approve of this, Hector. The Smith & Wesson Performance Center. 10 millimeter. Oh, yeah, it's like, Tastes like sweet pudding pie. So, yeah. I smile moneyed this bitch right away. We got perfect pray and shoot going on there. Let me turn that off so I don't forget about it. It has suppressor height co-witnessing sights that are in fact night sights. That is something I didn't know about. It is a true compensated gun. I tell you, when you compare this barrel to the material in the Megastar, you're like, that is a piece of pop can compared to the Megastar. Oh well, I guess we'll see if they come apart or not. It's surprising right now. There is a lot of people that seem I have no idea what that button even is. It looks like a button. The hell was I even talking about? The one thing that I could give a shit about, though, but it does have a safety selector. The trigger on this, being that it is a performance center gun, it does... Again, I guess I'd have to grab Christine's out of the safe and compare it with this. It roughly feels like hers does. Typical fashion, tight. Need a little break-in period on it. Some people like and some people don't like the overall look. I mean, again, this is an example of a little bit more barrel, a little bit more frontal weight for follow-up shots, along with that compensator, and actually doing something. I did swap out for the medium large back strap on it. You also get just a little bit more of a lump on the sides. The biggest difference is between the medium and the medium large is the beaver tail area to kind of fill your hand up just a little bit more. It comes with just a shitload of these base plate adapters. and some screws so that you can find the combination that you would need for yours. Of course, I watched a video because there was zero reference to what screws, what base plate. It's base plate 1 through 7. Number 6 is this big ass beefy thing made out of an aluminum. The rest of them are all just pieces of plastic that, like in the case of the Viper here, it has four pin spots or spots at the front and the back. Not all of them do. There was I think there was, of the seven base plates, yes, 3 of them were with 4 pin spots, and the other ones were all with 2, but then this was the only one that then, on top of that, lined up with the existing holes in the red dot. So, don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity to go out and shoot or not tomorrow. I also don't know if I'll be getting the opportunity to maybe go out for a motorcycle ride or not tomorrow. J-Dog got his hog up and running. So, I guess we'll see. Poco, not it. And then he put up some titties. Smile money. Sometimes you just spend money and lose money. Hector, by the way, I was the first to thumbs up because everyone else sucks and Matt doesn't love you in your purple Speedos anymore. Laugh out loud. Let's go, Brandon. And then he says H7. There's a shock. H7 has already been called, and it was a miss. Bad? Greetings, Captain. Greetings, sir. Smile money. Thanks. I just could not follow Drunken Matt's deception of his fallout with Miles. Hector says they're getting a divorce. And Salty says I was naked when naked wasn't cool. Mr. 27 says 11th. Then he says intro Kim gone. I'll brew bomi. Sharky, just an absolute yes. And unless they airbrush those freckles away, your soul is safe. J-Dog is here at work. Agent Mr. Cat says, Kim John Bomi, huh? Laugh out loud. Sorry I missed the club. Hector and I were in a live stream together, jacking off. Wait a second. Jawing about politics. Same thing. And Hector says, yep. Poco, I like True Spec parts. They have a cell phone pocket on each leg. Oh, sorry, pants. True Spec pants. Never heard of the company. But obviously they make pants that Poco likes. Bad? Lock, cocked, and de-googled. Poco, I don't care too much for the new GY6 vids. Too dry, repetitive, and large.
Sorry, I don't understand.
That's because I wasn't fucking talking to you, you hooker. EMT, if I get another phone, when this one dies, I'll have an OtterBox on it too. I beat the hell out of mine at work and have never had a crack or a break of any type. Well, I hope you have more luck than I've had with OtterBox. According to Lily, she thinks that OtterBox was bought out by some other company, and that's why they went from overpriced and good to overpriced and junk. Her words. EMT, P.S. I used to carry it in a belt holster, but it keyed my radio up a few too many times if I bent the right way. And 2, I had to go look for it a few times when it fell out of the cradle. Granted, I carry it in my cargo pocket, and not a pocket to get sat on. And I don't usually carry it when I'm not working. I'm not tired to it, and in return, it's tied to me when I go places for Big Brother to know where I am. Plus, cash is king. Rich says, cheers all. Cheers, Rich. EMT, great replacement girl when you came back from your break. Yeah, she worked out. Phil says, 2 thumbs up. Mike says, cheers, my friend. Cheers, Mike. Gun Glutton. Thanks for the advice. You're right. I'm down on my luck. Lost my job. I ever had as a freight broker due to a slowing economy. Sold my first home to relocate for a job that paid even better, but now there are talks of layoffs. I have no education, only experience, but also no debt. Life just keeps kicking me square in the nuts. I guess it's like Frank Sinatra says. That's life. Riding high in April, shot down in May. Yes. Sorry, Gun Glutton, but that zipper could just keep right on going. Cheap old gun guy says life's full of ups and sub-comments, full of ups and downs. It's how we are during the highs, but how we are. It's not how we are during the highs, but it's how we are during the lows. You know, I've been there plenty of times myself. And the DFC says, keep on keeping on. Gun Glutton. Have no doubt is key life is so much easier that way. Well, if nothing else, you have a bunch of half-wit friends that are here for you, Gun Glutton. I don't know. I know me personally. I can't stand construction. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And yet, at this point in my life, it's like if I was my grandfather, I'm only a few years away from graduating, from retiring, and that's just not a possibility for me right now, unless those lottery numbers come in tonight, and that's worked out so well up to this moment in time. But Gun Glutton, I truly hope the best for all of you guys that are here, video in and video out, and a few of you that are always here, but you don't comment all the time, but it's quite obvious you're still always here. See, there she is. She looks completely different with her hair all slicked back. She looks a little evil there right now, but sometimes I just think that we should all be punished. What exactly? Oh, never mind. I was like, is this like dental floss? But it's like clear strips holding that up. Yeah, that's not really good. It's not really good. EMT, screw tube, kept my call in the previous review, so let's try it again. Hotel 4, H4, is a miss. And fuck Hunter 2, he says. Tardisius. The Glen Came whiskey glass is always a win. Oh yeah, yes it is. I am honestly surprised with all the alcohol that is involved that I still have the original. Yes, it's not the most promising picture for her, but that I still have the first two that were sent to me. Sharky, I apologize. Let's put this. I wish whoever did this to the rifle would die, because now I'm tasked with the mission to try to fix it, and I'm not even sure how to get some of this shit apart. This was sent to the retarded ginger. Let's have Zeus take care of this. I'm sure it won't be scary. Imported by Mats. Product of Spain. Wild. Why would they do this? Wild what? Octopus? Exceptionally tender and flavorful mantis octopus. Comes from the Atlantic waters off the shores of Spain, Portugal. I am so full right now, I will have to get to this later. Let's see, what else can we tell you about this? Wild caught in traditional octopus pots. This delicious octopus is hand-packed in Galicious, Spain, using Spanish olive oil with a touch of sea salt. Serving ideas: enjoy fresh from the tin or lightly sautéed with hot Spanish paprika, olive oil, and lemon. BPA has not been intentionally used in the composition of the materials in this container and in contact with food. 100% natural artisan product. No added colors over preservatives. Refrigerate after opening. I can't even imagine not finishing my octopus in one setting. Oh, nutritional information. 1 serving per container. 130 calories. Oh God, it makes me want to save it for that, in case the world turns upside down. I've wanted to try octopus. I'm just not so sure about it coming out of a tin, really. Okay. McLean, where have you been, Eric? You know how I get when I don't see you. Yeah, I know. McLean, I've had that happen when in the heat of an argument, nobody goes from 0 to 100 and says something very hurtful out of the blue. If that's the case, shame on Miles. McLean, I should stay quiet, but if I borrowed it and book it, fix it, otherwise you're starting trouble. Isn't the cost of a tire worth the savings of a friendship and the peace? McLean, and I don't give a fuck if either one of them are watching. There's been a few people that have made the comment that you have to choose your battles, and I know this has been ignored, but it's true. I've gone through living with a woman who decided to have a fucking over-the-fence battle, and we ended up moving. I think it's I think it's just fucking stupid. That's what I think. I think it's fucking stupid. I honestly feel that I am running an adult daycare. I mean, fix the fucking tire. I don't give a fuck about the neighbor. I've already had neighbor battles. It never ends well, and it costs friendships. And me and Michelle, who's upstairs right now, we just got done talking about this. It's otherwise an outstandingly awesome neighborhood. Why not work for peace as opposed to battling? And maybe I'm just at a different place in my life. I mean, sometimes if in my world, if I have to eat crow, Jesus God, fuck, it happened just today. I went over and got the rest of that paid off, and I was informed that the FFL that they use doesn't do anything on weekends, and it getting delivered even to the guy, I missed that by 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And I don't remember, I asked some question, and evidently the guy who is the manager of Superior Guns goes, hey, we can still get that out today. You want that brought to Stadium Pond? And I'm like, I wasn't even given that as an option. I know that the gentleman that they were going to bring it to, who basically works out of his house, works on banker's hours, versus Stadium Pond, which is open all weekend long. The guy goes, no. He goes, he goes, well, where do you live? And I go, I live like 5 blocks away from Stadium Pond. And he goes, well, he turns to a guy who I thought was a worker or a friend, or I don't know how it works out. I mean, obviously the guy has to have some kind of credentials or a representative of the company, because he was literally transporting a firearm across state lines. I mean, even though my money happened in Wisconsin, I technically paid for it, and then it has to be shipped to an FFL in Minnesota, and then it's treated like anything else in Minnesota. You walk in, you fill out the stupid fucking illegitimate ATF bullshit, freedom-stealing cunts, and they call it in, and if the freedom-stealing cunts say okay, then you turn and you walk out with your firearm. So it turns out it's the owner of Superior Guns is the errand boy, and the manager goes, would you like to run a firearm over to Stadium? And he goes, yeah, no problem. And so he and Miles are having like a 30-minute conversation, and I'm supposed to be here getting things cleaned up, and my clock is slowly spinning away, and I'm like, you know what, life is short, I really don't give a shit. And finally, the girl at the counter says, walks outside to have a cigarette, and I'm just like, well, evidently the gun is done, right? And so we followed the owner across the bridge, brought it over, got over to Superior or the Stadium Pond, and the guy's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm here to pick that up. He goes, well, you're gonna have to get in line. He goes, there's five guns ahead of you. Probably a absolute best case scenario is to pick this up on Monday. And instead of fucking having a blow up, I just looked at the guy and I said, I understand. I literally just walked through the door. They thought maybe if they got it here to you today, we could take care of this right away. And he goes, normally that'd be the case, but I'm really busy and I'm the only one here. And not only do I have to run the whole shop, answer all the phones, there's 5 people ahead of you that I haven't even started on. I go, no, it's all cool. It's all cool. It's not the gun I'm planning on bringing to battle at 5 o'clock today. I said, I just thought maybe it was possible. They thought, but that's okay. I understand. Monday's good. Tuesday, if that's what has to happen. Don't want to push you. And then he's just like immediately like dropped it into neutral, and he's just like, well, as long as you're here, I might as well get a copy of your carry purchase permit or your concealed carry permit and your driver's license. And I handed it to him, and he's like, well, as long as you're here, you might as well fill out the paperwork. So we got that rolling. Then he looks at me and he goes, no promises, but I will try to get this called in and let you know what happens. Okay, well, how do you want that to work? He goes, this was like 1:30, and he goes, why don't you get a hold of me between 4:30 or so? I said, so anytime after 4 is good. Yeah, just get a hold of me before 4:30. Okay. So I didn't have the number programmed into my phone, and I had to look it up, and the website already said closed. And I'm like, that motherfucker. It was like 4:12, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll just try calling the number. Ring, Stadium Pond. I go, hey, this is Eric, and you told me to give you a call. He goes, oh yeah, I got you all ready to go. They gave you a go ahead. Okay. Is it okay to come over there right now and pick that up? Absolutely. He goes, we're closed, so just give me a jingle when you're sitting in the parking lot so I can open a door for you. Okay. I go, I live like 5 blocks away. I will be there in 5 minutes. He goes, yep, just give me a call. So if I would have performed dick in mouth when I yes, nothing like a nice bow tie truck to seal the deal, if you know what I mean. If I would have been an asshole, me personally, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll try my best. Bottom of the pile. Instead, I don't even know if maybe he did it right away or if he really did the 5 transfers in front of me or not. All I know is when I called, it was done. I had already had my proceed from the fuck you cunts ATF, and so if I do go shooting tomorrow. Actually, J-Dog, if you hear me say this, I'd rather head out on the road for a little while with you tomorrow and verify your Harley as opposed to shooting. And those nipples are better than yours. Sometimes you just don't want big old pepperonis. McLean, don't let trivial issues and pride get between friends. Good friends are very hard to replace. Again, usually there's such complete bullshit that comes out of McLean's mouth, but I cannot disagree with all of his comments so far. Well, let's see, except for... No, I agree with all of them. Cheap old gun guy, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us in saying, "Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden!" Well said, cheap old gun guy. Whip me. McLean, Eric, I have a birthday coming up, and if Mama doesn't get a nice present, she's gonna tell the class what you did behind the sushi place. When is your birthday again? McLean, boom. Out come the jugs. Eric Bomey. Matt Davis? What? No Matt? Sweet. Lose the tattoos, honey. Keep the boobs. Matt Davis. Just tell Miles and Matt, not my chair, not my problem. There's that. Matt says B as in boner 9. B9? Come on, man. That's already been called as a miss. DFC. Matt should figure out a way to buy Grandma's house if he can. Well, yeah, there's a little bit of family politics going on there, though. Evidently, in the will, it will not be left to anybody in the family. And the grandma's kid has already said, Matt's uncle, Danielle's uncle, has already said, boy, I would really like my daughter to get this house. So, I don't know. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, but Sharky, sub-comment, yeah, he should. And Smile Money says, well, now the interest rates have increased. His procrastination has just increased the cost of the home ownership. Families and negotiating things of value can be messy business. Yeah, there's Smile Money. There's absolutely nothing that he can. It's completely out of their hands. Even though, yes, they would like to. Pete from the Armory channel says, I might sub here. Then he says, don't forget to send my packages back. I use them again. I'd like to say that he's just being funny, but he's not. I'm not overly sure about the face. I'm willing to, just let the hair down, but yeah, she's she and her chest, there's like another picture of her somewhere in this rotation. Sharky, cheers all. Eric John, too disturbing. Intro redhead, nice. Here we go, read more button. Alice on deck, and wowzers for the opening brew babe. No guess yet. Might be pretty fine one. Pete, again from the Armory channel. Do you have any transgender slides? Smile Money. In all the colors of the rainbow. Dinscourge says, Smile Money, I hear he has a 40 that identifies as a 10. I used to have a 10 that identified as a 40. That was the P carry. Sharky, pro tip. If your tushy is as firm as yours or mine, do two things. One, don't put down your phone in your back pocket ever. Two, don't let the cat know. Sharky, SH, fantastic outro in red. And last comment is Mike saying, Dr. Mike says Everclear shot. No. It's, Everclear is for getting vulcanized rubber to come off of a steel rim to get your carbon fiber released from your titanium hull and embalming your liver. Okay, freckles and I don't care. Okay, on the E scale, Destihl Brewery, Deadhead IPA. I'd give this like a 4. And the problem is I have another one. God, people are stupid. I guess I'm gonna have to take that apart and see what I can do to it. First in the club is Hector. Me in the club. Party time. Agent Mr. Cat in Clubberoo? DFC, here's to the sunny slopes of long ago. Yeah, just having this conversation, actually, with Tom, Midway Shooter. I don't think Tom follows any of the shit show over here. At least he's never made a comment, but this was another Life is Too Short conversation, and again, I agree. He originally started, he left me a comment. He texted me because of my my pictures of this. And, you know, one thing led to another, and we started talking about shit, and yeah, I need to have a day, preferably if a couple good friends could make it, you know, like J-Dog. I need to bring unfired to me is Ed's 4006 and Scott's Sig 1911. And again, I just like to point this out because someone would always think about making a comment. Both of these guns were respectively had plenty of rounds put through them by their original owners. In the case of Scott's 1911, I have a full-on notebook of the day, the date, the temperature, you know, the ammo, all of the above, and no fails. And of course, the Smith & Wesson is just a Smith & Wesson. It's had no fails. So, yeah, somewhere in here I need to pick a time where I can bring a few things with. And Tom says, I request that you bring the camera and document it. He goes, because I'd really like to watch that video. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, and more effing yes. Final is Smile Money until I hit the refresh button. The gun show must have been huge. This is a late review. Cheers, Glovers. Quite to the contrary, Smile Money. The gun show is a fucking pathetic goddamn joke. The biggest, most potential turnout in the all of the entire area that me and David traveled to go to these gun shows, and a majority of the heavy hitters were simply not there because they did not want to be overcharged to have for the tables at this at the deck, the Duluth Entertainment and Convention Center. It was, again, I apologize, like to Tardisius, it was a fucking joke. $17 between parking and being able to get in the door. And the last gun show that we went to down in Moose Lake was probably double the size in fucking Moose Lake, Minnesota versus Duluth. The deck, the Duluth Entertainment and Convention Center. Why? Because they decided to go for the gold and overcharge people to have a table there. The gun show sucked. And the only thing I saw, and thank you, J-Dog, because I missed it, because there's old people in the way that still hadn't moved by the time we came back. They had a full-on, no shit, Smith & Wesson Ladysmith. And I don't give a shit if you call it a Ladysmith. I absolutely want one of those in my collection because Miss Parker from the Pretender series used to carry one, and it's a Smith & Wesson. This one looked like it had a few miles on it, and I don't know what kind of condition the grips were because they had this just stupid grip sleeve on it, but they wanted, it was either, was it 825 or 875 for it. They, no, I'm sorry. But that's pretty much the example of the way these gun shows have been. I mean, greatest economy ever, right? I mean, our buddy Craig from Hammer Down Firearms didn't even bother. He, after doing the math, he realized that how many guns he had to sell to just break even, and he wasn't willing to gamble. Betcha those titties taste just like titties. Those ones taste like Oriental food. Hitting the button and nobody's here, so we must go. Okay, cheers guys. I'm go back and where are we? Hour. See where the ladies are at. Otherwise, probably see you tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow has in store. If the weather's bad, two of the two things I actually want to do cannot possibly happen. Unfortunately, because so much shit happened today, the errands that I normally run on a Saturday are going to be moved to tomorrow. So, more than likely, even if the weather is nice, there will be no motorcycle-y or gun shootery, which is bullshittery.